Lost Records Bloomin' Rage Taped 2, titled Rage, is the next and final chapter to the Bloomin' Rage saga of the new Lost Records franchise developed by Don't Nod Montreal, published by Don't Nod, and released on April 15th of 2025. When Tape 1 of Lost Records Bloomin' Rage dropped, it introduced us to a warm, nostalgic, and slow-burning narrative filled with mystery, deep character work, and a powerful sense of place. It was all about establishing the characters, setting the tone, and laying the groundwork for something more. Tape 2 picks up where Tape 1 left off and delivers on that setup, not by exploding expectations with constant surprises, but by bringing every lingering thread, emotional arc, and thematic weight to a fulfilling and deeply felt conclusion. From the moment you dive into this second part, it's immediately more engaging and intriguing than the first, simply because everything matters now. The past has finally caught up to the present, and all the secrets, friendships, and otherworldly mysteries are ready to come to head. This is the payoff tape, the one where things get real.
The abyss. I shouldn't go without everyone.
I was honestly surprised that there weren't any major narrative curveballs waiting in the wings. Sure, there's the supernatural weirdness of the abyss that looms over everything like a dreamy, haunting metaphor, but the drama itself is more or less what you would expect. And that's not a bad thing. What Tape 2 might lack in shock value, it more than makes up for with emotional honesty. There are powerful, raw, and even devastating moments that had me leaning forward, completely absorbed. It's not about being surprised, it's about feeling everything the characters feel. Even without massive twists, the story is incredibly moving and is crafted with visible love and care. The dialogue is tighter, the pacing is more urgent, but not too fast in my opinion, and the emotional beats hit hard.
You're leaving?
I'll call you later. Okay?
The heart of this game has always been its characters, and Tape 2 gives each one the space to shine. Swan, Autumn, and Nora feel more complete, more vulnerable, and more complex this time around. Their shared history weighs heavily on every interaction, and their performances sell it beautifully. You feel the love, the pain, the betrayal, and the hope. Their personalities feel even more vivid in this chapter, and the added time jump helps reflect how much they've changed, or haven't. Watching them reckon with who they were and who they are now is one of the most powerful parts of the entire experience.
I thought everyone here hated us.
Huh. I know that feeling. Can I ask you something? Did you see anything strange that night? Out in the woods? Like a presence.
One of my biggest complaints from the first tape was that it sometimes felt too passive. In Tape 2, there's a noticeable improvement in how much you can interact with. While it's still a narrative-focused game, exploring feels more purposeful this time. There are more objects to examine, more connections to make, and a few other mechanics I won't spoil that felt like thoughtful upgrades from the first part. It still could go a little further in giving the player agency, but I appreciate the direction, and the fact that your choices continue to have an impact on the way the story unfolds.
Whoa.
Tape 1 was deliberately slow, and that worked. It gave us time to understand the girls and their dynamic. Tape 2 maintains that same soul, but with a bit more urgency. There are bigger set pieces and more action moments, but the game smartly balances those with quieter reflective scenes that let the emotional depth breathe. Some players have said that the pace felt too fast, but I didn't feel that. I was completely dialed in the whole time. It felt natural, like the story was unfolding exactly how it needed to.
What now? He's not moving.
Visually, the game continues to impress. The lighting in Tape 2 is spectacular, arguably even better than in the first tape, and it enhances everything from emotional beats to dreamlike moments with the abyss. The way color is used throughout is almost painterly. It's haunting, nostalgic, and intimate all at once. The music remains a standout feature, weaving in and out of scenes with a symbolic precision. Every note feels emotionally timed to what's happening on screen, and it adds to the immersive cinematic atmosphere in a big way. It's not just background noise, it's part of the story.
This sucks. I feel like hopeless. What do we do?
Without spoiling anything, let me just say, Dontnod knows how to end a story. The final act is tremendously satisfying, poetic, honest, and full of earned emotion. It doesn't rely on spectacle or over-explanation. Instead, it closes the book with care, leaving you with a warm ache and a lot to think about.
Roger.
On it.
Okay. Go.
Lost Records Bloomin' Rage Tape 2 might not be full of shock and awe, but that's not what it's trying to be. It's a story about connection, memory, and healing, and it delivers those themes with beauty, grace, and a quiet kind of power. The improvements in interactivity, the sharper writing, and the incredible visuals all elevate it above Tape 1, while still keeping the soul of what made that first experience so resonant. If you were hooked by the emotional pull of the first part, Tape 2 will reward you tenfold. It's not just a good sequel, it's a lovingly made conclusion that respects its characters, its players, and its themes. A summer's end worth remembering.
What's that?
Guys,
I give Lost Records Bloomin' Rage Tape 2
Hey.
a 9 out of 10.
Cat! You made it.
Cat. I seriously almost had a heart attack.
We were worried about you.